How about we check in with some season-long fantasy baseball news? Yankees closer Aroldis Chapman went on the 10-day disabled list Sunday with inflammation of his left rotator cuff. Tyler, who should fantasy owners replace Chapman with?
We are learning now, especially with what Tito Francona showed us in the postseason last year. In fantasy baseball, you don't need to be a ninth-inning closer to be an impact relief pitcher. Guys that work in the 7th and 8th inning, Dylan Betances, Andrew Miller, these guys can be formidable fantasy assets.
Okay.
And I think if Chapman is a guy you need to replace, there likely aren't very many top-notch closers, ninth-inning guys, to fill him in with on the waiver wire. So turn to some of those guys that dominate in the 7th and 8th inning. I got two names for you that I think you can plug in. They'll bring up a bunch of strikeouts, may get a few opportunities to close games if the normal closers in their bullpen have been used 3 or 4 days in a row, and that's Tommy Conley of the Chicago White Sox and Trevor Rosenthal of the St. Louis Cardinals. Conley is second in Major League Baseball in Ks per 9, behind only Craig Kimbrell with pitchers that have thrown at least 10 innings this year. He's striking out 17.3 batters per 9 innings pitched. He's got a 1.23 ERA. His whip is very good. So that's a guy I would target if he's available to replace Aroldis Chapman and Trevor Rosenthal as well. Pardon me, Rosenthal might get a few more save opportunities than Conley.
Yep.
He's already gotten 3 this year. Soonwon Oh has been a little up and down. He steadied himself a little bit, but we know Rosenthal from his years as a closer there with the Cardinals under Mike Matheny, a guy who can go out and ring up 40 saves. If something happens to O, Rosenthal will step into that 9th inning role, and he looks to have his mojo back, throwing 100 miles an hour, and he is 7th in baseball in Ks per 9 at 15.7. So those are 2 high strikeout guys who could pitch an inning or 2 and ring up 4, 5 batters in an outing. They may not get the save.
Yep.
That's reserved for Robertson in Chicago. That's reserved for Soonwon Oh in St. Louis, but they are dynamite fantasy assets to have if available.